How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, it's crummy here. I can't wait to get to Hawaii.
Yeah? You got bad weather on your hands?
We've had a rainy winter, which is good, I mean, gee whiz, I'm sure you saw the fires.
Yep. When there's fire, water seems to be the next best thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, water is the natural. My first year living in L.A. in the 80s, it rained like every day for a month. I thought, what did I move here for? But that's what we need, so I'm not complaining. But yes, it's been a lot of rain, a lot of gray, but it's winter.
Well, we're stoked to be having you back, and like you said...
Oh, yeah, me too. Thank you.
I bet you really have come to, on that note, I bet each year now you really look forward to it. You're like, I can't wait to just get there.
I hope there are people who look for it half as much as I do, but yes, I do. I mean, it's not just because of the fellowship of comedians who I bring and friends and so forth, but,
Right.
The great atmosphere there that you don't really get on the mainland, especially I spent a lot of time, of course, in L.A. and New York and Washington, the chattering classes, and
you can feel it. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you can just feel a little decompressing.
Yeah, no doubt. No question about it, man.
Although, these days it's impossible to get away from the world anywhere.
No, everywhere you turn, it's around you, and it's here too. And you got to remember that.
Even Hawaii has a candidate.
Well, remember, 1/3 of all people last time here voted for Trump.
Actually, a good number.
Right.
I mean, he did win.
You know what I was looking at on your? I always try to keep up with your. Right before we talk, I take a look at your social media just in case there's some glowing thing you got going on. What's the? And forgive me if I don't understand it. What's the sorry not sorry banner on your social media?
Well, that is a great question. I just think it. First of all, we've been on the air a long time, so you're working only with the phrases you haven't worked with yet, and then you sort of run out. But I liked it. I feel like it says something about being unapologetically telling it truthfully. It's sort of always been my bond with the audience, is that I'm the guy who doesn't pull a punch. One year the banner was, he's not in it for the likes, which I thought was great. And that's really what I think we're selling, is we'll make you laugh and we'll make you think, and we're not going to apologize for keeping it real.
Right, and you punch buttons, you get people thinking and talking and kind of raising their blood pressure, so to speak.
So much conformity. I think there's a need for that.
You filming in L.A.? Is that where it gets filmed?
Yep. Been here, been doing that. I've had the same office through 3 networks and 2 shows.
It's incredible how long.
I started at that office in the mid-'90s when I was still on Politically Incorrect on Comedy Central. And then we moved that show to ABC for 6 years, and then same lot, same office, same number for real time starting in 2003.
Oh, that's crazy. I still remember sitting in my apartment in Boston watching you on that on the ABC. And with all those, and I remember all those different cats you'd have. I remember one time you had Dave Windor from Monster Magnet on there. I mean, you really you had the gambit of kind of dudes who were on there.
Oh, sure. Well, we had 20 seats to fill a week.
Right.
So we have 5 shows times 4 guests. That's a lot of bodies, a lot of warm bodies you had to get in there.
Exactly.
I mean, there were nights when Pauly Shore was the smartest guy on the panel.
Well, when you got to keep the seats full, it gets like that.
That was the charm of it. It was a planned train wreck of a show. The idea of it was that everyone in a democracy gets to speak, which is the truth. And then I think when I moved over to the newer show, the question was, yes, but should they?
Right.
And the answer was mostly no.
Over all those years of doing it, because this is so much farther before, I guess, his political aspirations, did Trump ever go on that show or any of your other?
No, and he has tweeted... I put together a list. It's going to be in my set here of all the things he's tweeted about me, the horrible things he said over the years. And one of them had to do with that he just hates me because I went to his show. he had this idea in his head that we have a feud because I was so desperate to have him on. Yes, we asked him on, like we asked everybody.
Right.
It wasn't like the great honor of the world to be asked on Politically Incorrect. Like I just said, we needed warm bodies. So we asked. He didn't do it for whatever reason, which is odd because he obviously is a man who never met a camera he didn't like.
Right.
But maybe he does have sometimes a grudging respect for me. I mean, amid the Bill Maher's the stupidest guy on TV, failing comedian, a really dumb guy, a dummy, a third-rate comedian, wacko comedian, dopey, not a smart guy, all these things, he does occasionally say, very respected comedian, or something like that. But he's woven me into his act now because, I've been saying for over 3 years that he's not going to leave when he loses. He, of course, lies about that and says that I am claiming he will never leave. That's not really what I'm saying, although that's a possibility, too. I'm mostly saying he's probably not going to win this election in 2020, and he's not going to leave. He's going to say it was rigged, blah, blah, blah. It was unfair, deep state, hoax, he set this up for years now. His people don't believe anything. It's all fake news. The election's going to be fake news, and he's not going to leave. And then what's going to happen? And he's woven this into his act now. He's just like a comedian, When he finds a hunk that works for his crowd, he keeps honing it. So he has this hunk now where he talks about this failing, stupid comedian, whose show he very often says he accidentally watches. Accidentally, I love that. Yes, he tries to watch House Hunters every Friday, but somehow stumbles onto Real Time. And so he's woven this into his act as a way of trolling liberals because he talks about, this guy says he's a wacko. He says, I'm never going to leave. And then he goes into, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I will stay 4 years, 8 years. So he's trolling us on that. But it's not such a troll. I mean, I keep saying, you watch a year from now, it's going to be a very bad time in America because I think we're going to be in a crisis like we've never seen. What do you do when a guy loses the election and won't leave?
Well, it's just a shame he wasn't on sitting next to Dave Windor from Monster Magnet. They would have had so much to talk about.
Once in a while I'd get, letters from people. You had the guy on from Queensryche. Can you get me in touch with him? Like, what? I didn't even know who you're talking about. And, sure enough, I'd look it up. And, we did have the guy from Queensryche on.
It's funny. You never got to bump into Don. And none of his none of his offspring either, I take it, you've had the chance to.
No, I met Don twice, I think.
Oh, you did meet him?
Yeah, I met him in passing. Yeah. Once was at the Midsummer Night's Dream party at the Playboy Mansion. About 20 years ago, everyone, of course, is in pajamas. He was walking around in his power suit. And I think somewhere else I met him in New York, just for a minute. And like many people, I have the same experience. When you've met him in person, he's not the monster that we see every day standing on the driveway screaming like a madman and insulting people. There's a reason why he got where he is, and it's not because he's brilliant. It's because he knows how to charm people and talk to people, and one-on-one, he does that quite well. I don't remember him being boorish at all when I met him personally.
And what about, have you been kibitzing with Representative Omar, your buddy there, or is anything new with her?
No, I mean, she and I have never had any contact. Rashida Tlaib put out that people should boycott my show, which is such a tired thing to say. It's one reason why the liberals are so bad at politics. We don't like what you said. And, of course, what I said was just a very reasonable political opinion. We're allowed to differ. We don't like what you said, so make you go away forever. We cancel you. You know what? It's not helping. So that went away quickly, never got off the ground. But, yeah, that's where we are. We have one party that is a genius at politics and has no morality, and the other party cannot do politics and will probably lose. And those are the people who I more agree with. But I don't have any faith that this impeachment is going to go well.
You know, it makes me think of remember that cat Rodney King. It makes me think, like, what would Rodney King and the chaos that came, and he said, "Can't we all just get along?" Can you imagine what he would say looking at this insanity?
He would say that. But it's not going to happen.
So, do you think we'll ever have another president?
Yes. I mean, the question is whether that president will be an elected dictator. I mean, that's the whole reason why impeachment, even though it is a political trap, it's the whole reason why it has to be done, because he's attempting to be essentially an elected dictator, and we can't have that in America. We have to try to at least maintain the basic contours. We used to have not a lot of rules, but a few, like you have to answer a subpoena. Little things like that. You can't ask foreign countries to be a ringer in the election. You know, we fought amongst ourselves viciously, but one thing we always agreed with is, okay, but it's amongst ourselves. It's in the family. We don't go out and get Russia involved or Ukraine or anywhere. I mean, he's got his Attorney General Better Call Saul going all over the world, just, shaking down people. Hey, what do you know about Biden? Hey, Bulgaria, you must know something.
Need some
Giuliani. I mean, you have to impeach, but politically, I don't think it's going to go well, because the whole election is in 6 states. The whole election is in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Arizona, and Florida. That's it. And it's not a winner in those states. Neither is any of the far-left stuff that the Democrats are constantly putting out and showing off in the debates. So we'll see.
We need a uniter, Bill. They ought to go on your Facebook and dial up that elephant movie that you're talking about, that feel-good elephant movie I see you put a little link to.
Oh, right.
And I read for next year on your show you're going to be doing more segments on the vulnerable animals, like the pangolins, the rhinos, the elephants.
That's funny you mentioned that, but one of the first guests coming back in January, when we come back, I think she's on either the 17th, which is the first show, or the one after that, is my great friend and the greatest friend any animal's ever had, Ingrid Newkirk, the founder and still head of PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. She's the one who, more than anybody in this world, has moved the dial on how we think of animals and treat animals, and she's got a new book, and she'll be on. So, yeah, that's people I could give a damn about, but animals, I want to help them.
As a dog barks in the background. Perfect.
Exactly.
What's the dog's name?
On cue. I have 2. I have Chico and Chula. That sounded like Chico.
And what kind of dogs are they?
They are mutts from Mexico.
And getting a lot of love.
They got a good deal here. Aloha, everybody. It's Bill Maher. I am back for the pledge drive, and I'm cutting to the chase. Do you have any idea how many times I've been on this show with my buddy Dave Lawrence? I sure don't, but I do know this. It beats getting chased by a pack of baboons, that's for sure. So make a pledge now, and I'll catch you next time as a member.
That's it, cuz.
All right, great to talk to you, Dave.
Be safe, Bill.
Appreciate it.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.